Hello, my name is Michael Maurer, and I'm going to be demoing my digital forensics tool efetch. Efetch is a file explorer and analyzer that supports a ton of different file formats. So this version, 0.4 beta, is much more user-friendly and easy to install than the previous versions. So I'm using a SIFT3 workstation, and I'm going to go ahead and install efetch. This will also work on any Ubuntu 14.04 system. And it's just that one line now. And now it's installing. So if you've used any of the previous version of efetch, it was much more difficult to install and set up. You had to have Elasticsearch and you had to export using log to timeline. This version does not require any of that. So you can just navigate and browse your file system. Now that efetch is done installing, I'll go ahead and start it using the efetch command. That'll go ahead and start a web server on localhost 8080, and we can just navigate to that in the browser. So the efetch homepage has changed significantly since the previous release. So you now have a browse option. This lets you just browse the file system. You can still enter a passspec the old way if you have one from something like log to timeline, but normally you'll probably just end up browsing the system. I'm going to go ahead and browse to an evidence file I have. It's the N-Fury case from the SANS 508 course. And it's a split EO1. And what efetch lets you do is just navigate into EO1s and raw files just as if they were a folder on your system. And in particular, it also works with BMDKs and VHDIs because it uses DFBFS. And here we can see we actually have some shadow volumes we can select. And I'll just select one at random. And then we can go ahead and navigate through this evidence. I'm going to go ahead and go to the user N-Fury's home folder. And we can go ahead and take a look at something like his ntuser.dat file. And we can view this using efetch's registry viewer, similar to many other registry viewers out there. And then we can actually navigate also through his documents. efetch supports a large number of different file types, including Office documents, images, videos if you have the VLC plugin, and SQLite databases. And we can go ahead and view that. Now we see the file. We go back and navigate and look at other files on the system. And then if we come to a file that we want to look at that we want to run a different plugin against, we actually can go ahead and add new plugins. So for instance, like these .x docx files, if we wanted to look at the core.xml, and you can see we don't have a way to do that with these plugins, we can actually write our own plugin. And it's very, very easy to write your own plugin for efetch. Go back to the terminal, and I'm going to edit the efetch's underscore plugins.yaml file in Etsy. And this will have a whole bunch of different plugins we can choose from. Some of them are already commented out, or we can go ahead and write our own. So here's one, for instance, of a clean JSON that just cleans up JSON output. So I'm going to go ahead and write a core.xml printer. This one's pretty basic. So all it's going to do is just show me that core.xml file that's in Office 2007 documents. We'll just call it core.xml. I don't want to get too advanced with it, so we can just go ahead and just set extensions. You can also do MIME types. We'll just say docx for this one. And then we just need to give it a command. So the command in this instance, you can go Google how to do this. That's what I did. And we're going to do unzip qc. And then this is where you have to give it the path. You can see, looking at the example above, right here, that you can just give it the cache path. And then we will go ahead and say where that is. So the file is props.core.xml. and we'll pipe it to something called XML tac format, and that'll just clean up the output, and that's it. If we go back over to our efetch tab, you'll see, hey, it detected that it was updated, and then we can refresh, and if I did everything correctly, we can see the plugin right there, and we can actually look at the core.xml file. So it's very easy to quickly add new content and new features. And if you look through that plugins file, there's a ton of commented out plugins already written. They're just there waiting to be enabled. And I'm hoping that people can go ahead and write their own and send them. And you can even tweet them because the plugins are that small. All right. And that's pretty much all I got for efetch. Thanks for listening. Please let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to leave comments. Thanks. Bye.